It was February 25th, 2025. I set out at dawn with my friend S, whom I met in Bali, to catch the sunrise at Mount Batur. Our journey began around 2 a.m. It was the kind of night that reminded me just how bright the moon can shine before the sun comes up. It felt like I suddenly realized something deep about life. That even when everything feels dark, maybe there's still a soft light quietly shining on me. They say catching the sunrise at Mount Batur takes luck. And even though I'm known as the weather fairy, I was quietly anxious the whole time, hoping the sky would open up. That morning, the sun was gentle. At the cold peak of Mount Batur, I was laughing with a lovely friend right by my side. A friend who can always respond with kindness and smile as brightly as the sun we saw that morning. Heading to Romania now to meet her again. After 73 days in Saigon, it's time to move on to a new place, Bucharest, Romania. I booked my ticket with a 20-kilo baggage allowance, and somehow, miraculously, I managed to stay exactly within the limit. With so much traveling, I think I've reached the level where I practically have a scale at my fingertips. This journey is a long one, 2 layovers, and nearly a full day of travel. I'll be transiting through Singapore and Doha before I finally arrive. I was fasting until I landed at Singapore's Changi Airport. First things first, time for lunch at the airport. Coming from Vietnam, the price jump in Singapore hits hard. This beef noodle bowl costs $9. Seriously? With some time to spare during my layover, I edited the final episode of my Saigon vlog. Now it's time to endure another 7+ hour flight. Next stop, Doha, Qatar. A long journey. They fed me just often enough to forget the wait. Luckily, free Wi-Fi was on board, so I kept editing my vlog. Arriving in Qatar, Singapore prices suddenly seemed cheap. This coffee costs $8 a cup. Unbelievable. This was my final flight from Doha to Bucharest. I got stuck in the middle seat with 2 Japanese ladies on either side. As they sat down, they kept saying, "Excuse me," in Japanese. I replied with the little Japanese I know, "It's okay." That broke the ice, and suddenly they started chatting away in Japanese like a storm. They didn't speak English, so I gathered all the Japanese words I knew and told them I'm Korean and only speak a little Japanese. Surprisingly, this cute little encounter turned out to be so much fun. They talked in Japanese the whole time, but somehow I understood enough to reply, and we kept the conversation going. That small talk completely brightened my tiring last flight. Arriving in Romania, the real welcome began. Immigration was a breeze, and I made my way smoothly to the Uber pickup zone to head to Simona's place. After the long flight, I was exhausted and just wanted a shower. But then, the Uber showed up in the wrong place. According to the app, it was at the right address, but the GPS showed it somewhere completely different. Frustrated, I requested another ride and reported the issue to Uber. It was confusing and honestly a bit upsetting. While on the move, I kept messaging Uber, but they refused to acknowledge any issue. The conversation was tense, but I pushed back with proof, screenshots of my location, the second ride history, and more. Eventually, they refunded the entire first trip. It was inconvenient, sure, but in the end, I basically got the ride for half price. A true Romanian welcome, right? After a warm welcome, Simona treated me to a delicious breakfast. I even got to take a much-needed shower. After a bit of rest, we headed to a fresh market. The view on the way felt completely different from anything in Asia. We arrived at a big market known for its fresh ingredients, but first, food before anything else. There's a must-try dish here called Mici, and this spot is famous for serving the best in town. Sure enough, the place was packed, definitely a local favorite. When the food arrived, it looked absolutely mouth-watering, and honestly, it just had to be eaten with beer. I was beyond exhausted, but there was no way I was skipping the beer. Do I even need to describe the taste? It was melt-in-your-mouth good and the perfect soulmate for beer. I absolutely love grocery shopping. Food is a big deal for me, so shopping for ingredients is always a joy. This market was a feast for the eyes, fresh produce everywhere, and so many interesting things to see. Strawberries and cherries are in season here in Romania, and they're everywhere. They also happen to be my favorite fruits. Lucky me. And how about shopping for all that cheese? They were selling it like tofu, sliced straight from big blocks. It was amazing. Next up, of course, wine. They even sell it straight from the tap. So many varieties, and the prices are incredibly reasonable. And then, so many kinds of olives. Honestly, just looking at all these ingredients made me think, I could really live here. We also stopped by a salad shop, and that's where I noticed something about Romanian people. At first, they seemed quite stern and reserved, but when I smiled and said things like "thank you" or "this is delicious," their faces lit up, cheeks blushing, and they suddenly became so warm and kind. They may seem cold at first, but deep down, they're total softies. After unpacking all the groceries, I made us a salad. Then came wine and chatter, and just like that, my first day in Romania came to a close. It's my first morning waking up in Romania. With all the travel I've done, my body now just resets to local time on its own. I woke up at my usual hour as if nothing changed. Later, Simona woke up too. We had a smoothie, then got on with our own work for the morning. By lunchtime, we came together and shared a meal. Now that I've got my key and lunch has settled, it feels like the perfect time for a city walk, so here I go. There was a large park nearby with a few historic buildings, including George Cantacuzino's fountain. Isn't it amazing to have such a big green space right in the middle of the city? Along the way, I stumbled upon the Bucharest Fountains, absolutely massive in scale. This must be the heart of the city. Later, Simona was pretty shocked. I had walked all the way to the old town without even realizing it. When I say I'm a good walker, I really mean it. Once I reached the old town, it really hit me. I'm in Europe. The buildings, the cobblestone streets, the sun-drenched tables lining the sidewalks. It was all so classic, so unmistakably European. After a quick afternoon snack, I got back to work. After we both wrapped up our work, Simona and I headed to the old town for dinner. We decided to take the tram this time. In June, the sun stays out in Romania until around 9 p.m. So even though it was evening, everything was still bright and glowing, and I just love the sun so much. It made me really happy. We found a table at the restaurant, raised our glasses, and waited for the sunset.
We'll make a toast.
Yay! Cheers! When I told my Dutch friend Dennis that I was heading to Bucharest, he made sure to tell me how good Romanian food is, and throughout the trip I couldn't agree more. Romanian food is just so delicious. Feeling cheerful, we strolled around the old town, taking in the sights. Most of Bucharest's main attractions are clustered in this area, so there was plenty to see.
Keep trying to fix the unfixable. I just need to learn how to let you go.
Here we are in Bucharest, and here I'm showing Victory Street, which is one of the main boulevards and where the soldiers came on horses after the First World War, showing victory is ours. So yeah, so this is like still one of like main like
Main boulevard.
This is closed at weekends over summer. A leisurely walk and then enjoy and be without cars.
Since it's such an old part of the city, some buildings are no longer in use. They simply stand there, holding their history. Simona's own history was there too, woven into it all.
It used to be a really, really posh branch, really expensive.
Oh.
And then I came in with my mom. Maybe I was 7 or 8. I can't really remember. And then I was looking at the prices and I told my mom, Mom, let's get out of these stores.
Wow.
Because they are, what did I say? Because they are, they're stealing from us.
We ended the evening by walking around the university district. I don't know why, but being near a campus always makes me feel at ease. And here in Bucharest, the city embraces its university right at the heart of downtown. We took the subway back home. It was a quiet but full day. My second day in Bucharest came to a gentle close. Thanks for watching. Stay with Soph for the rest of the Bucharest journey. A new story is coming soon.